we'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. We'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. We'd be all right if the wind was in our sails. And we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Oh, we'd be all right if the northern water's clear. We'd be all right if the northern water's clear. We'd be all right if the northern water's clear, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a dry sock below wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a dry sock below wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a dry sock below wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a leave for the shore wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a leave for the shore wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a leave for the shore wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind. Well, a pint of black stuff wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a pint of black stuff wouldn't do us any harm. Well, a pint of black stuff wouldn't do us any harm, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along. We'll roll the old chariot along, and we'll all hang on behind.
The lust for eternal affairs seem to raise our spirits in great despair through the ashes of oblivion. Quick and unseen like the dragons of spring, for we owe no debts and bow to no king. Every war has its costing we've paid, won by the bond of the body we've made. War with the call that the battle starts now. As the demons listen, we strike them down, fighting back the rifts of blood. Sent from the sky like an angel in need, give them news to strengthen and words to heed. Heaven's doors are set alight, we're knocking on the gates of hell tonight. Swords and dragons' bones scattered on the way back home, beating to the sound of flashing steel. When the roller heals them, shed the tales and legends told, strengthened by the hymns of old, weathered out this fighting from his throne. So we are the spell in your sequence of chords to inspire and sharpen our rusted swords, echoing the whisper of the trees. Creep along the path where 1,000 bards fail from the thick Western jungle trails. Come from afar to set prisoners free to dark tangled depths from the open sea. Broken swords and dragons' bones scattered all the way back home, beating to the sound of flashing steel. When the roller hears them, tales and legends told, strengthened by the hymns of old, weathered as this fighting from his throne. So we sing a traveler's song. Second chances don't come cheap, so keep alert and on your feet. An ancient spirit song will heal our wounds, unabashed by our defeat. Spot the bloodstains on these cobble streets, a message to the gods to see us through. Ever heard, yet rarely sung, so raise your voice and praise the sun. Call a new rebirth to keep us strong. Countless souls along the path, lost to fiends and lost to wrath, will return to play our final song. Broken swords and dragons' bones scattered all the way back home, beating to the sound of flashing steel. When the roller hears them, shattered tales and legends told, strengthened by the hymns of old, weathered as this fighting from his throne. So we sing a traveler's song.
Of all the trees that grow so fat, o'er England to adorn, greater are none beneath the sun than oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all at a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. You that is old in churchyard mold, he breedeth a mighty bow. Alder for shoes do wise men choose, and beech for cups also. But when you have killed in your bowl, it is filled, and your shoes are clean outworn. Back you must speed for all that you need to oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Elm she hates mankind and waits till every gust be laid, to drop a limb on the head of him that anyway trusts her shade. But whether a lad be sober or sad, or mellow with ale from the horn, he'll take no wrong when he lieth along neath oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Oh, do not tell the priest our plight, for he would call it a sin. But we've been out in the woods all night, a conjuring summer in. We bring you good news by word of mouth, good news for cattle and corn. Sure as the sun come up from the south by oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn.
Can hear the whispers in my sleep, the voices telling me this should be mine. You claim you trust me. You think I don't see the doubt behind your eyes. I'm gonna build me an empire, and it's lonely at the top. But madness and greatness can both share a face, and nobody will ever convince me to stop. It's my destiny. I was born to play this game, so fear me or love me, it's all the same. Try to find a chain that I won't break, a price I wouldn't pay for what I want. So you can call me calculating, you can call me calculating. You can say I've lost my mind, you can say I've lost my mind. You can throw me to the wolves, I'll be alright. I'm gonna build me an empire, and it's lonely at the top. But madness and greatness can both share a face, and nobody will ever convince me to stop. It's my destiny. I was born to play this game, so fear me or love me, it's all the same. Just one word, I'll let the world burn. Just one word, I'll let the world burn. I'm gonna build me an empire, and it's lonely at the top. But madness and greatness can both share a face, and nobody will ever convince me to stop. It's my destiny. I was born to play this game, so fear me or love me, it's all the same. So fear me or love me, it's all the same.
Pictures. We don't hear you, Christian.
We don't hear you.
I turned the music on, but I forgot to turn the mic back on. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Realm Weavers.
Greetings, nerds!
Nerds,
Hello.
geeks, and everyone else who wants to watch. Everyone's welcome here.
There is no geeks.
I am one.
You are.
Hi, Patrick. Patrick says hello.
Hello, Patrick.
Hello.
Oh no, where'd Bernard go?
He's hiding.
Yay!
And there we go. Okay, so before the stream started, we had a couple of people vanishing randomly, not because of their own fault, but because of, like, technical difficulties. I have no idea why that happened. I'm hoping that doesn't happen in the middle of the stream, and if it does, rare occasion. Either way.
You are bringing the bad juju upon yourself by saying stuff like that.
I'm letting the audience know what's going on and what the hope is. That's all. Now then, couple things. First of all, you have noticed that Dottie has returned,
Hello.
but that we have also traded someone else to get Dottie back. Oh, music down a little bit more. I can do that. How's that? That's gonna take a minute for, but yeah. So Tia is not with us right now. She had an emergency call with her family, so she's hanging out with them. So yeah. Today we have Grimshaw, Troxel, Bernard, and Dottie. I will say this. In the distraction of seeing the dwarf kind of like walk into the trading post, as all of your eyes get off of Lorsan, whoever decides to look for him next, you don't see Lorsan. Lorsan's just gone.
Weird.
He's been abducted.
Additionally, along with the dwarf, shortly after him, you see Dottie walk into the trading post.
I was wondering when she was going to show up again.
Charismatically, I assume.
Yeah,
Cutely.
just nodding along.
Very charismatically.
Yeah. Before we start the session, I want to let the audience know a couple things. So I have recently overhauled the attribute table, renaming them to just straight up ability tables. Basically, how the ability scores work in first edition is the strength. With strength, if you rolled 18, you could roll percentile to see how far into 18 you can get. And I've taken that mechanic and applied it to all the different abilities. So anyone who has an 18 in their score will essentially be rolling percentile at some point once I've finalized the descriptions of each of the different factors. So for players and people who are watching, keep that in mind. Also, I am still working on the art for the videos. It is coming along slowly but surely. I'm hoping to start recording soon though. That's my hope and goal. Yeah, anyways. Shall we begin the session?
Oh, yep.
So many
Yes.
times.
Let's go then.
Started.
Let's do it.
So yeah, Dwarf wanders in. Shortly after him, Dottie walks in as well. For a second, you almost see a figure behind her, but they're moving, so you don't have enough time to like see who it was.
Phenomenal.
Do 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 do.
Just wonder when that pipsqueak was gonna show back up.
Give a hearty hello.
Hola.
Hi. Where have you been?
On this planet.
The owner of the trade post kind of like looks over Dottie, sees the holy symbol she has on her person. Unless you're hiding that. Are you hiding
I
that?
am so hiding that.
You were hiding it? Okay, never mind.
I am Dottie Cognito.
So he sees Dottie and he's just like, "Oh, is she a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Madam, would you like to purchase anything from our fine trading post?"
Would I?
I don't
And
know.
then I'll
Would you?
pull out my coin purse and I will go, oh, right, I promised all of my money to Grimshaw. And so I'll turn around and I'll hand my pouch over to Grimshaw and I'll say, all the money in the world cannot purchase our friendship. And as he looks into this bag, this very fine, this very delicate bag, and like sort of like gleans in, he will see 2 copper pieces, and he'll be 2 copper pieces richer. And then I'll turn back to the man and I'll say, I am sorry, I don't have any money, but I do have a chutzpah.
The man sees the transaction of 2 copper pieces. He's like, honestly, it's probably for the best.
This is real.
This is how you get business done.
Business, Dottie?
Yes, business dotting. Very, very aficionado. Very formal and regal. Very proper. Yes.
That's quite the strange party you got with you, lad.
You know, sometimes you can't choose the people you travel with.
Yes, you can. I don't want to go with you. Good day.
Now, yes, you could do it that way. But as it's always been said, safety in numbers. And they need the safety of me.
He's just like, well, if they need your safety, then why would you bother walking with them?
Because we keep him safe. And then I'll like, with the guns. That frickin'.
Roll a charisma check.
Fuck.
Roll a charisma check. Go on.
Oh,
Come on.
oh, okay.
Come on, bud, roll a charisma check. Shake my hand.
I'm not very convincing right now.
Won't
That
you?
is a 5.
Yeah, he's just kind of like looking at you, going like, uh-huh. My point still stands.
Have you ever heard of actionable income?
Can't say that I've had.
I perform a service for these people. They are either indebted to me by saving their life, or they're indebted to me because I am in fact protecting them from something. This wonderful ragtag group of people I've been protecting for a while now, I have actionable income with them. Eventually, I'm going to be able to collect on actionable income.
And you trust these sorts to keep honorable with that debt.
That one's a knight.
No, you don't know that.
I know she's a knight. I don't know she's a paladin.
How do you know she's a knight?
Because
armor's
I am
too
very
shiny.
knightly and very regal, and I have armor, and I am formal.
The incredibly formalness, the very straightforward. Her armor is basically pristine compared to most other people's armor, which means that she takes time and effort to take care of it. She otherwise comports herself as would be befitting of a person of station rather than a fighter like me. She's not dirty. Do I need to go on?
My nails are immaculate.
No, that's fine.
It's actionable thought there. Like it's
Hey.
just like
Hey,
inferencing.
PG-13, my friend. PG-13.
I said actionable thought.
That's not what I heard. My bad.
Now, the wonderful thing is, everyone else, I know he's a noble, she's a knight, and this guy's too afraid of me to double cross me.
Yeah, that's true.
That
They seen
and
me do. They seen me do the new Monster Hunter hammer move. You spin me right.
No.
So he looks over at Trox and goes, "You're a noble."
Yes, obviously.
You say obvious, lad, but why would a noble be traveling with a ragtag group? Shouldn't you be having this giant royal assembly that's going with you everywhere you go?
Just happenstance.
Happenstance.
In this world, if you hold nothing here like that of your word, then there is nothing behind you that can back you when it pertains to things that matter, like making promises.
Why are we having this conversation with a merchant?
He's not a merchant, he's just a random dwarf that walked in.
Oh, why would we? Okay. Even better.
Because he's asking the question.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he kind of shakes his head going, just weird group, weird people, and goes over to the counter to start buying some supplies.
I mean, yes, weird group, weird people. Ragtag is definitely something that we are. But at the same time, it's easier to pass unnoticed when you're ragtag.
Oh,
And that's something we definitely need. Anyway, now that we're at this trading post and we've otherwise need to decide whether we're just going to continue on from this trading post or solve some problems here as well, because, you know, solving problems is seemingly what we do best.
We also create.
Look, we create problems for us to solve later.
The trade keeper is just kind of like saying he doesn't really have many issues here. He's just doing a business. It's normal like ever. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay. Well then, if we have enough supplies, I don't see why we shouldn't just press forward then.
Okay.
We can we do have two options. We can go directly to Balmora, or given the state that we're in, we could try and open more trade dialogues with the local clans in the area.
I do have something that I need to mention, but that can come at a later time.
Before we go, there's one thing I want to see if you have. I'm gonna wait till the dwarf finishes talking to the merchant and ask him, does he have any pure poison?
I'm sorry, you're kind of muffled right now. What did you say?
I'm gonna ask him about if he has any cure poison, the poison
So like antidote for poisons?
antidote, yeah, for poisons.
He has a few things that could, like, in the hands of an expert, could probably be used to, like, slow down poisons and that kind of thing, but nothing that'll cure it.
Okay.
So it's fresh out of stock for that one, buddy.
Okay. Thanks.
We can always make them later. Alright. Do you guys want to try heading... Hang on, let me look at the map real quick. I have the map here. Northeast? To try and talk to the Kreischer clan? Or do you guys want to continue moving on to Balmora? I'm going to leave it up to a group decision because I feel like I've been deciding a lot recently.
What kind of agreement do you want to make with these people?
I just...
Oh.
If I may, I did happen along the Kreischer clan while I was gone.
No.
Yeah. We had a fantastic conversation. I had a lot of wine.
They have alcohol.
Oh, I almost got eaten.
Oh. By what?
Well, as I was
Graciously.
walking along, and I was searching for this glinting rose that I saw. It was very pretty, and I ended up walking a little bit farther than I would have liked to, and then I walked up a hill, and then I thought I saw something, but I didn't, and it was okay, and then I went and gotten to the top, and I was like, this is a fantastic spot to toboggan, and then I realized that this was a bit too steep for me to go and toboggan down, so I turned, and then I saw a fire. And I was like, oh, there is a fire. I should do something. So I went to go and help with the fire. And then I started tobogganing down. And then my shield hit a rock. And then I flew. And then I landed on my tuchus. And when I stood up, there was a really nice man that was coming over to come and help me out of the bushes. And he held out his hand, and I held out my hand. We went to shake, and then he lifted me up, and he was so strong. And then he put me up like right next to his face, and then he almost ate me. So then I put my sword in his mouth. He didn't like that too much, and then he went to go and eat me again, and then he got ganged up on by a bunch of those dragon people. And then we all chopped him up into pieces, and then we made mud pies, and then we wrapped him up in mud, and then set him on fire with a bunch of bramble. And then he died. And then we prayed. And then we buried him. And then we went to camp, and then we celebrated. And then they said that there is a surgence of undead, like, everywhere. Like,
Wow.
so many undead things are happening. And he also asked if we could do something about it. And I said yes. And then he gave me this coin. And
Token.
he said that if I show this coin to other people like him, then they will know that we are allies. And he also taught me their secret handshake.
I want you to roll me a storytelling check after doing that.
All right, you know what? Before she does that, Grimshaw's just gonna look at her and say, "Were you attacked by a skinwalker?"
It was a troll. It was big, and it was hairy, and it was grimy, and it was icky, and it smelled funny, and it went to sniff me, and so I sniffed it back, just so I could show it I meant business. That is a 14 plus mine.
Not plus. It's proficiency, so you want to roll you want a lower roll.
Oh, so that's a 14 on a d20. So minus.
I do not have your proficiency chance. So what's your chance to succeed with that? Because I'm not finding your proficiency cheat here. I have to fix
I
that.
am looking for my sheets, my holiest of sheets. And I have a +3 in con. Oh wait, charisma, sorry.
I'm not concerned about the bonus in there. Cause I already know what that is. I just need to know if you have points in singing or not. Or not singing,
I do.
storytelling.
Oh, okay, 1 second. Where is storytelling on the sheet?
You're looking at the proficiency sheet, right?
I see profession. Oh. Yes, I have a point.
You have points in it?
Yes, it says
Okay, so what's
Plus
your
three,
chance? What's your chance to
one.
hit?
1 + 3, 1 through 8.
1 through 8. Okay, so you failed the check.
But some things don't need to be rolled for because that storytelling was immaculate.
don't know about immaculate. Okay.
Ah, Bernard went again.
So what we're talking here is that you were nearly eaten by a troll.
Yeah.
At the Kreischer clan.
Yeah.
Kreischer clan asked you to deal with the undead menace in the area.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is not the country at large, but more just the local area. Because I can't imagine it would be the entire country.
Kinda.
I digress.
Because there is a crypt that I have a map to, and allegedly it would allude to a more grandiose explanation as to why there are undead, and apparently there is an ancient threat that is within this crypt.
Well, we might want.
I'm good for that. I'm good to go.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I think that'd probably be a good choice for us to go problem solving.
Yes, usually when threats are ancient, that's bad.
Nah.
We should probably get permission to go and enter into the crypt and go make a investigation.
Well, we can do the
Permission from
investigation,
who?
but I do believe that by them giving you that coin and saying, have at it, and giving you the directions to said crypt, they did kind of give you permission already, did they not?
No, it's a human crypt.
Yeah, the crypt doesn't belong to the clan.
What race are the clan?
Dragon people.
Oh,
Dracan, by the sound of it.
Yes, the Dracan.
Were they shiny or were they mundane?
They were shiny.
Oh, so shiny. They glinted.
I can work with that. Alright, well, I'm gonna turn on my heels, look at the trading post guy, and go, you know where this crypt she's talking about is?
He just kind of shrugs and goes, "There's all sort. If you look for it, there's tombs and crypts, whether they're ancient or recent or whatever, all over the place. Some of them are empty, some of them aren't."
We need the ancient ones, the ones that, by the sound of it, might be coming back to life at this point.
Just like, say what?
Oh, they'll be the life of any party.
Oh no.
No, they'll be the death of it.
Are you certain?
No.
So
I'm
Dottie,
pretty sure
Dottie,
that if
didn't
somebody...
you say that you had a map to this crypt?
Oh, yes,
Yes. So you can show him the map and be like, this one, do you know where we can get proper permission to spelunk?
Okay, so I will reach into my backpack and pull out the map.
Okay, so he just kind of looks at that and goes, "Is that the large mountain from the crystalline crests?
Oh, it's a very big mountain. Very, very big.
Like the one that we're right in front of?"
I don't know.
Well, that'll be part of the Selsmeyer. That'll be part of the not Selsmeyer. That'll be a Selsmeyer region. So the Portwell family kind of handles this region for the most part.
Oh, fantastic. So we'll just go and talk to the Portwells. Right?
He shrugs and goes, "It's a long walk to there. I would suggest sending a message."
Well, we have
fox
horses.
them. We'll fox them.
He's like, "We have some, he's like, "We have a spare room if you want to use that." So,
We might have to, because again, we're not going to get a reply in less than a day. So
True. So we should send a message and then carry about doing other step things.
Yeah, that's only plan.
We could do cursory research, not dive directly into the crypt, but go to the crypt. If we go to the crypt, we can go into the proper and at least investigate there.
Grimshaw,
Yes.
cursing is bad. We don't do that.
Cursory. Not cursing. Cursory.
Oh, okay.
If we do a cursory investigation and we find that there's something that we can use as evidence to be like, hey, we need to go in deeper before we get our message back, we're not liable at that point. We're going in, we're making an investigation. If we find something, we can move forward with it. Capiche?
If you guys are going to be sending a letter, it's recommended that Trux will be the one to write and send the letter.
Clearly,
All
as
right,
no,
we can send it via the merchant or whatever. If he has some pigeons or something.
Yes, of course.
Yay!
he has foxes. He doesn't have pigeons.
He has pigeons.
Damn it. We not men in tightsing this. We can't fox them.
All right, so Troxo, what are you going to write in the letter?
We've been requested by the Dracon, I guess.
The Dracon.
I'm sorry.
Dracon.
Dracon?
Dracon.
Con.
The Dracon to investigate an undead problem that they're having in their area. We would like permission to look into this crypt, ancient crypt near the mountain, the particular mountain. Please respond promptly at the said traders. We'll be there.
All right. Stamp. Send.
I can go check the place out if you need me to.
I think we should all go make that cursory research of the place, if you don't mind. This way we can't. This way, at least we won't. If something happens, we'll know. We'll have people who can run back.
He is free to take Trumper.
Oh, I figured you'd be coming with us.
Oh, I absolutely will be. But I was only saying, given that he is more capable of perceiving from a secluded position.
Well, remember, at this point, going into a crypt like that, you're not going to really need to be all sneaky like. We're not supposed to be hiding from what's down there. We're supposed to be finding what's down there.
Yes, typically in crypts, when it pertains to clues, they are very cryptic.
That's very true. You're gonna kill me with these puns one of these days. Alright. So let's go to the cryptic crypt, full of cryptic crypts. We'll solve the problem while we're there. Hopefully we don't find anything too incriminating.
Well, we'll be able to clean out the surrounds of the crypt before we get our letter back.
Precisely. That's why we go there That's why we do the cursory research.
But can we go there now?
Oh, absolutely.
So lead on, please.
We're leading.
Oh, before we go, I need one more thing. Do you have an empty glass potion bottle?
They have bottles, just not specifically designed for potions.
Well, yeah, I'll take an empty bottle.
Alright. Be about 2 silver pieces.
Okay.
Do you have a trash can filled with assorted glass pieces?
What? No.
From selling soda, obviously.
We don't make glass here, and we don't intend to shatter them, so no.
That wasn't an actual question.
If you're missing out on making glass, I feel like that is an untapped market.
We're not in the area to really work on making glass. Soda ash around here is probably not very common.
I'm gonna let the fact that you missed that pun just there, maybe. Like, there.
Oh, I am fully understanding, but Grimshaw's just like, making glass here is just not worth it. We'd have to be closer to the beach where we can get seaweed and actual, like, silicate sand. He's, like, thinking about it now. He's like, you're right. Still.
Oh, I will look at Bernard
Yes.
and I will say, where is Trumper?
Who?
My Shetland pony? My trusty steed?
I thought he went with you.
He went
We're gonna go ahead and say that he went with you guys.
Okay.
Oh. I asked you to watch him.
Okay. Well, I guess he's outside then.
Fantastic.
Give me 1 second, guys. Need to take care of something.
Dog.
Oh, you hear that dog?
Yeah.
God, he is loud.
God can't
That-
save you now.
Yeah, no, he cannot. That dog is crying downstairs in the back of the house. That's not my dog.
If the dog was misplaced, it could be your dog.
That dog sounds like he sounds miserable because he's locked up right now by himself.
Locked up.
Damn, he's loud.
I thought he was a dog.
I mean, he is, but he a loud dog.
Oh,
Okay, so we're all
There
we're
we
all
go.
staring off into the void, waiting for things to happen now.
Things are happening now.
Woohoo!
So you said you want to go ahead and leave right now?
Yes.
All right. So you guys start heading
Follow
up.
the map and go to the crypt.
Yeah, you start heading. You start going up, and Dottie starts leading you back up the mountain trail because it is up in the mountains. Yeah. So essentially, you reach a bend where, according to the map, you would turn right, and to the left, you can continue on to get to the tribe, or yeah, to the clan. Dottie's obviously leading you to the right, so you go that direction instead. It's, I would say, like, as you reach the crypt, the sun is just getting to the point where it's getting ready to start setting. So you have some time before you before it sets properly.
Well,
Okay, well,
someone's
we
gonna.
definitely want to take a look around while we have sunlight.
Yeah, but we also want a couple people to stay back and actually set up a campsite because there ain't no way we're making it back.
then I will set up a camp.
Well, you actually, I'll say this. you actually see a camp set up already, and there appear to be 2 Dracan who look like they're sitting by the crypt entrance, and seeing you guys approach, they start to get up.
Okay, we'll go over and
Can I waddle and then hop off Tromper and then hit them with this? And then boost.
They kind of look at each other, look back at you.
And then I will say, we have been tasked to investigate further into the crypt, and then I will pull out the medallion, and I'll be like,
This has been called a coin, it's been called a medallion. It is a token.
it is a token of their appreciation for my saying yes.
So the Draconic kind of like speak to each other in Draconic, and once they finish having their conversation, look over at you and go, "We will not stop you, but we highly recommend you do not enter."
can you tell us what's in the crypt?
There's a powerful undead that moves around in there. Actually, we think there might be more.
What is your?
Actually, we think there might be more than one.
And why are you here?
To keep them in.
Keep them in.
We're doing whatever we
That
can to
implies
keep
that
it.
they open the crypt and come out at night or something, or what?
That implies that they have been attempting to get out. They've since stopped attempting brute force. We are keeping watch, taking rounds, looking for any signs that they might be trying to find other ways. Regardless, we highly recommend no one enter this place.
Do you know what we're dealing with? Or is this just it's a powerful undead unlike what we've dealt with before?
Pretty much the latter. They were not able to recognize what this creature was, but they will say they already lost one individual from it before they fled and sealed it in.
What did it look like?
They don't know. The person who died could have told you, but he's dead in the crypt, so...
Oh.
Might not be the best idea to go.
We're gonna have to go in there eventually no matter what to solve the problem.
We'll be fine. We're coming.
Well, why don't we camp here tonight with them, and then we'll go back and see if we get a response tomorrow. See if there's anything that happens during the night.
Would be probably a good idea. If we don't go in, we don't have to risk dealing with the Angie boys. But at least now we'll be able to see what they're talking about. They said they've stopped trying to overpower the door, but at the same time, that could be worse. Because they could have found another way out.
Which is why they're making rounds, trying to double check everything and making sure that nothing's undisturbed, or nothing's disturbed. So.
Do you by chance have a footprint of what the crypt looks like, or not?
A map?
A footprint? You mean a map of the crypt, or like?
Yes, a map of the crypt.
Okay. They don't have the blueprints. They have always honored the sacred ground and never really intruded. The only time they did was when they heard a disturbance inside, and they went to try and get rid of grave robbers, and then they found something worse.
Okay. Okay. Camp. Have dinner. Set up watches. See if we can get through the night.
I'm gonna say Ariane stayed at the trades post. Oh no, actually, no. I'm gonna say Sealdre and Ariane kind of went with you guys. They're both of them.
I feel like CLJ would pretty much go anywhere that the group went, as long as.
Yeah,
like,
CLJ is just
Shaw-
gonna stick with you guys.
All right, so.
Dracan asks. One of the Dracan says, "Well, since there's a larger group, I'm gonna go ahead and hunt for some extra food."
Okay. I'd like to
Probably
talk
was.
to Sheldrake. Sheldrake.
Sealdray? Well,
yeah.
she's like, except he kind of knows this area better, and my condition would probably hamper his success.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I want to talk to you about nobles, because we're going to eventually head off to into my town, and I just wanted to know whether you were anti-noble in general because of specifics, or whether you had anything against the Candle House specifically.
Let me put it this way. You talk to the nobles, I stay away from them, and we're all happy.
You stay with. Okay, well, my intention in terms of getting your curse lifted was to talk to my brother, who's a member of the clergy. So, I guess I could find a non-noble.
If I wanted to talk to the clergy, I would go to the temple. I would not go to a nobleman.
Okay, well, your
That
choice.
that is a fair assessment.
Troxel, you do actually know that the Archbishop does stay in Balmoral more than the other temples in Alverdan, so...
Okay, that's fine.
Alright, so...
Well,
While
well,
the... Okay, go ahead.
you go first.
I was gonna say that while the Dracon's hunting and the other one's kind of like watching the door, you guys kind of hear, "Hey, so I haven't eaten in a while. Can I get some food, please?"
What are you looking for?
That's a good question. Let me pull it up.
Did you feed him?
We did feed him
Oh,
fish
really?
recently. We did feed him the fish recently. He hasn't eaten in a while, but he was full the last time we fed him. Deer.
General mammals or beasts, so yeah, pretty much.
Deer.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Ooh dear. No, sounds like we're gonna have general. I don't have anything to hunt with anymore.
I got my crossbow.
Want to go hunting?
Yep. Whoa.
Rabbits, anything. Anything we can make a decent stew out of too. Nice.
Is Bernard going hunting?
Yeah, I'll go hunting.
Okay, I want you to roll me two things. First one you're gonna roll is hunting proficiency.
I don't have that.
Is Grimshaw going with Bernard hunting?
I do not have anything to hunt with.
But you have a Bernard.
Yes, but two people trying to hunt in the same area tends to force animals away from that.
Yeah, exactly.
So D100, right?
D100 or D20 of your choosing. It just has to be a low roll.
That's 14, so no.
Yeah, no. Next roll you want to make. Direction sense. Let's see if Bernard gets lost in the mountains.
Well, we're on a big mountain, aren't we? It's almost impossible to get lost. Is it really?
In order
You're
to,
going up or
he has
down, or
to,
you're going
he
left
has
or
to go,
right?
he has to, number one, he has to go far enough in order to actually hunt animals and creatures without, being too close to the camp. Number two, there's a lot of passes in the mountain. There's a lot of areas that they can get. It's not just a simple, right-left movement.
I thought this was a big high mountain that was unique to the area.
It is, but big mountains still have lots of different passages and cliffs and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Sounds like the cliffs are making a lot of passes at Bernard.
Bernard, do you succeed the check?
I think I succeeded this one. 5. I got 5.
What is your chance that it is? Let's see. Direction sense. 1 to 4 chance.
Oh. Well, what do I have a modifier with my intelligence?
That's a wisdom.
Okay.
You could probably roll an intelligence check to try and find your way back based off of that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
Follow
do
your
that.
nose.
I'll do that then.
Because there's probably fire going on at this camp at this point.
Into the woods.
That's a 17.
Yeah, that succeeds.
Following his nose.
No, not following the nose. More like, okay, wait a minute. I don't recognize this spot. Kind of like looking around, following following his own tracks as he retraces his steps until he starts seeing recognizable markers where he starts getting closer and closer until eventually you see the camp again. And about half an hour after that, the dragon who went to go hunting comes back with a deer over his shoulders.
Man, you let the Dracan show you up, kid. I believed in you.
Hey, what can I say? I'm a city kid. I just thought I'd give it a try.
Well, he starts to skin it and they start cooking it.
I think it's an A for effort.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
I can imagine.
Chikan's kind of like look between you guys to recognize Troxel as his heraldry, and there's like no offense, but what is a nobleman of your stature doing all the way out here in the wilderness?
Just traveling.
Forgive us if we seem rude. It's just we don't see your kind up here often, let alone anyone of your stature.
He's kind of hunchback, isn't he?
The actual reason is gaining experience to level, and that's not a legitimate answer for the.
One of these days, I'll be able to shut that dog up.
With love?
No, that's not my dog.
Well, what's funny is I actually saw like a day or two on TikTok this advertisement for a device where you press the button, emits a signal that only dogs can hear, and they immediately shut up.
No. Yeah,
That's called a dog whistle, and that usually hurts their ears.
I'm aware. I would never get that kind of thing.
Oh,
But I'm just saying, it's funny that you say that, and I saw that like a couple days ago. I'm like, huh.
I thought you were telling.
What?
What?
But you're aware now.
He's a weretelly now.
Oh.
He's
Oh,
a
I see.
werewolf. Or is he a werewolf?
Scandal.
No, my brother's a lycanthrope, not me.
But are you an werewolf? Are you a werewolf?
No.
So you're not self-aware yet. Got it.
At any rate, yeah, there's kind of like sitting there a little bit awkwardly, not really sure what to do or say.
Then I will try and dance with them.
I was gonna sit there and I was gonna be like, you haven't had many noblemen come out and talk to you recently, have you?
We've never had any noblemen up here.
Never.
At best, they send an ambassador, but mostly they just leave us alone, as long as we stay out of their business.
Oh. Business.
Business. Speaking thereof, I heard you guys tend to make pretty good textiles up here.
We do.
Very much like to see them once this nastiness with whatever ancient evils down here.
I'm sure the
Would you
clan
mind-
would be fine with showing our works to you.
Maybe set up a deal or two so we can get your name across the country.
At that, he shakes his head and says, "We are comfortable with a peaceful life. We don't need to expand or anything like that."
Peaceful? Peaceful life is all well and good. I'm all for a peaceful life. I could care less about war or anything like that. But if you like the quiet life that comes with the mountains, I can respect that. My God. That poor dog. He has not stopped for like 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yes. Alright, so I guess I'll take first watch. I'll go look at but like on my watch, I'm gonna go like look around like as close to the front of it as possible, see if I can see anything moving on the inside.
There's no windows or anything like that.
It's a door.
Are you saying you're gonna
Correct.
open the door?
I am not gonna open the door, but I am going to use these wonderful things called ears and listen.
Okay, you said see if, so I wasn't sure if you were talking about like
I can
actually
see with my ears.
roll sound analysis.
Good lord, that's D20 or D100?
Whichever you prefer, just has to be a low roll.
I've got more D20s around me right now, surprisingly.
Actually, sound analysis or hear noise, whichever you prefer, but you probably have a better chance with sound analysis. Let me check. Let's see, Grimshaw.
I rolled a 3.
On D20 or D100?
D20.
Okay. So, for whatever reason, I only have 3 out of 4 of your character sheets, and only your main one is written down. I have nothing for your equipment card. So, I'm still waiting on that.
I swear I sent those over.
We keep saying that, but we can't find them.
It gets deleted all the time. What the hell?
So, we're going to go ahead and say that you succeed.
Fantastic.
Go ahead and that. Okay, so you're listening at the door for anything, and you just kind of like close your eyes, filter out all other sounds, and as you do, you hear a soft shifting on the other side, and you start to realize something else on the other side is doing the same exact thing you were doing.
Interessante.
Trap out shaving haircut.
I can't shave and a haircut anything. I got a hammer. Alright. I'm gonna back away from the door. Because I ain't dealing with that by myself. That thing has intelligence. That is an undead with intelligence, which means that is endlessly more dangerous. We're gonna go back and we're gonna talk to the one person I don't know enough about. and be like, "Do you know any sort of intelligent undead?" By the way, that one person I don't know anything about is Dottie.
Hello.
Dottie, do you know anything about the undead?
Yeah.
Do you know any of them that could have an intelligence enough that they would listen through a door? That they'd be enough to try and gather information?
Kelly,
Yes.
do I know enough about undead to know
Roll.
if some of them are smart?
No, that's scrimshaws. I'm looking at the wrong one. Let me pull up your sheet real quick. Doo-doo-doo.
Based
Oh,
on
wait,
my
I don't have your
conversations with
proficiency.
the Dracon
Do you-
about the undead and
Do
the
you have...
troll.
Wait, do you have any proficiency check? Do you have a proficiency in monster lore specifically for undead?
I have a background in this type of dealing.
What do you mean a background?
I have nothing in monster lore for this.
Okay. In that case, you're going to need to roll monster lore for this general information.
I rolled a 10.
No, she has no idea.
I do know that I had a conversation yesterday with the Dracon about undead in the area and the troll.
But they didn't mention specifically what he's asking you. All they told
no.
you was that undead have been spawning more and more lately, and that a powerful undead had risen in the crypt.
Okay, so I will repeat that final portion. Allegedly, there is a more intelligent undead that is lurking further within the crypt. And that is the crux of our problem.
It's concerning then.
I would
gonna
say
have-
it's very unhappy.
Well, yeah, he's definitely very unhappy. If you've been locked away for thousands of years and are just starting to come out now, you'd be pretty unhappy too. The light of day is a wonderful thing.
Have you tried having a conversation with it?
I would rather not converse with the dead. The dead need to stay dead, personally.
I feel like you should talk about your feelings with it.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Why not?
Listen, as much as trying to talk it out with this thing sounds like a great idea. This thing's already probably taken a life or two. We know at least one.
The Dracon who's still awake kind of like looks at you and goes, Are you the one that tried to talk to a troll?
Yes.
He kind of looks over at you guys and says, You have your hands full with this one.
So that's what that large man was. It was a troll?
Uh-huh.
We know we have a problem with this one. But you know what? That's fine. God forbid our ragtag group gets weirder by the day, but you know what? Weird is good. It makes people stop looking at you. That's the darker sides of life getting. Anyway,
You guys do or talk about anything else for the night, or?
Well, on my watch, I would like to go ahead and make my my sleeping poison.
Okay.
sleepy boy poison.
And I want to do something on my watch after him.
Bernard, I want you to roll me a, what you call it, what is it called again? Apothecary check, there we go.
Apothecary check. Okay, D100 or D20?
Again, doesn't matter as long as it's low. Your chance of success is 1 to 8, or 40%.
Ah, best time to get in one.
There we go. Despite having the proper tools or equipment, you were able to create this because it's not that complicated a poison. So yeah, you managed to successfully create this poison. Just kind of like make a makeshift bowl with like a with like a bottle or something like you're talking about. Grab some dew, put that in for the liquid. Put the like grind up the leaves and all that kind of stuff. Put it all in. Shake it.
Make sure I get a apothecary kit when I get a chance.
All right. So who's next on the shift? Night shift, I mean. All right, Dottie, you're taking a turn.
Mhm.
Is there anything you wanted to do for the night shift, or?
Yes. I want to go and huddle off and sit next to the door.
All right, you very noisily go over to the door and sit next to it.
Yes. Clunk, clunk, plop.
Did you say door or dwarf?
Door.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna clasp my hands and I'm gonna be like, "Hi,
What?
how you doing?" The dead are very restless here, and I feel like they need a friend. They're very upset, and I think with a little understanding that they can find peace in their current situation. And if you could hear my plea and help them feel better, that would make me all sorts of warm and fuzzy. Thank you. And then I'll just sit there for a bit for the remainder of the watch and be very watchful for my surroundings.
It's an interesting way to think about it as a paladin.
You hear a little bit of scratching on the other side. Not like this, but more like they put their hand on the stone and went...
Nails on chalkboard kind of stuff.
No, not that. No, not that kind of sound. Because
Oh.
there is no chalkboard. It is just a stone wall. Or stone
I'm
door.
gonna put my knuckles against the door and I'm gonna go. And I'm waiting for the dun-dun.
They mimic what you do.
I'm gonna make music with these guys. So I just rump with them back and forth.
One giant slam against the wall, against the door. Like this makes you jump for a second. That's how heavy the hit was.
He jumps, just like. I think you'd be less grumpy if you had more musical taste. And she'll turn and she'll walk away. How dare they?
CLJ eventually wakes up and goes over to tell Dottie, like, hey, you can go ahead and get to sleep. I'll get the last watch.
Thank you.
Yep.
And I will just go.
Alright, with that, day eventually comes.
Just want to eat some of the leftover venison from last night, and then
What leftover venison?
you guys ate it all. Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah, we ate it all.
Yeah, the Draconics are kind of like, yeah, the Draconics don't question it because there's a lot of people, but they are confused because they thought that there was some leftover venison.
There was.
Oh,
We all know what we used it for.
I don't. I'm busy doing push-ups.
Trying to catch
Oh
up.
yeah, speaking of which, Grimshaw, your little mimic friend has some news for you. As thanks for that delicious venison.
Fantastic. What do you got for me this time?
So he tells me he's been chatting around with some of the animals in the area, and according to some of them, they what they're saying is that there's something guarding the tomb.
Something guarding the tomb.
Mm-hmm. He says, and I'm pretty sure they're not talking about you guys.
I'm hoping they're not talking about us because that'd be weird. But something guarding the tomb, that's concerning.
Oh,
Do I hear this?
No, this thing's whispering to Grimshaw specifically.
Because Grimshaw has been the benefactor of this mimic. But so if it's guarding it and it's not, that's kind of hard to say.
So, Lyrian kind of like, you see her walk back to the camp. It looked like she was around the, crypt. And she kind of like walks over to you guys and she goes, I think I know what's inside.
Ooh,
Uh-oh.
tell us.
I'm not liking that hesitation.
Yeah, she looks a little bit nervous and she's kind of like casting glances to the door.
What are we working with?
I think there's mummies in there.
We finally found your mummy.
Please, not that joke.
We finally found your mummy.
I think it's funny.
Of course you think it's funny. You find every pun funny, no matter how dad-like it is.
That's the point.
Oh,
All
you're
right.
my mommy.
Oh,
So
oh.
wait a minute. So we've got mummies. And we've got something inside guarding something else.
She kind of like goes, unless these are mummies unless the mummies are the ones guarding something.
Which is even more terrifying.
She slowly nods in agreement with you.
Either way, we can't let the mummies get out.
She nods in agreement with you.
And the mummies have been champing at the bit to get out.
Do I know what mummies are?
No, you've never heard of this.
Well,
So what exactly are mummies anyway?
bad news bears. If
She
you thought that ghoul that you saw the other day was a bad thing, that hordes of ghouls were a bad thing,
and the white.
and the white, this thing's like 10 times worse.
Lyrian kind of nods at that. She explains the basics of it. Basically, mummies are humanoids who have been specially preserved using certain techniques, tools, and rites. And oftentimes, such corpses had protection against negative energies put on them, but over time those things can deteriorate or even fail. And if that happens, then they usually become a powerful undead, such in the form of a mummy. And it's not really understood why exactly, but for the most part, this tends to happen with nobility, royalty, or powerful beings. So she doesn't know too much about them other than that.
Do you know how we could possibly take him out?
Fire.
She goes, maybe, but there's no guarantee of that.
Oh, they're wearing rags. I mean, we could just burn the rags, and hopefully it'll do enough damage that even through their resistance, we're gonna need either magic weapons or blessed weapons.
Yeah, if we're gonna try and burn him, we're gonna need Dottie's raising her hand.
Dottie?
Dottie? Care to join in the conversation?
What if we went to the local church and asked them to bless our weapons?
The Eldred kind of looks at you and says, there is no local church. We're literally in the middle of nowhere.
We're too far from any church area, from any place that would have a church, where it wouldn't be 2 or 3 days to get back there and back.
But we have my horse.
That's what, 2 horses we got?
Yes.
Well, her pony. And don't forget that Troxel and his horse is gone.
Also, yes. We have my little pony.
Where's my horse?
Lorsan.
You still have your
and his
horse.
pony.
Yeah, I do.
Lorsan and his pony.
Oh, Lorsan.
Okay.
That's not going to last long enough anyhow, is it?
Oh, wait. Have a thing. Just have a thing.
No, Troxel's right. The spell wouldn't last long enough after you have the spell cast on it, and then you rush over.
Oh.
So
Oh. I have a thing.
you have a thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go talk to the
Wait.
Dracons
Like,
about.
well, one person first. So Dottie says she has a thing. What's your thing?
I have a vial of water that is considered holy.
Okay, so that will do some damage.
Yeah.
Troxel, you were saying.
I'm going to go talk to the Dracons. And,
Mm-hmm.
did you know that there's mummies inside the crypt?
They have a frown and look at each other and look at you and go. And how would you know if there was mummies in there?
Our magic user is familiar with it.
Look over to Lyrian. Lyrian just kind of like shies a little bit, and they go. How did you know that? How do you know that there's mummies in there? She goes. I made an estimated guess. Going to roll. See if she can convince them. They are not convinced by her words.
Okay. Then they clearly don't know. That was my question.
Yeah, they don't. They had
actually
no
know
idea.
whether they were or not.
They had no idea.
Either way, do you guys have any way to create blessed weapons that we can use inside the crypt?
They once again look at each other, look back at you, and says, they say that their priest probably could do that, but they would warn you to not go in there unless you are certain you can deal with mummies.
You'll be right behind us to lock the door, right? Even if we go down, you can keep the doors closed.
I would much rather not go in there.
Can I roll an intelligence check to know whether you need magic weapons to deal with mummies?
That'd be a monster lore check.
Oh, well, I don't have that. Do not have that at all.
Blessed weaponry will always work against the undead, though.
Fireworks sometimes, I think.
What, Dottie?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
That's not good.
What's not good?
I was just reviewing my holy sheets.
Okay. Well, let me
What about your holy
do
sheet?
that anyhow.
My holy sheet is nothing that can deal with mummies. Or daddy.
And this is how we keep the paladin and both the paladin and the cleric balanced. Paladin does not have many spells.
Yeah.
I guess what we need to do is probably go back to the trader and get some oil. And some jars of oil, and then we can try and fill those at the mummies, and then I can tie ropes to my crossbows, and we can try and light them on fire.
Lyrian will point out that if the creatures truly, in fact, cannot be harmed by anything but magic or blessed weapons, then your chances of affecting them with normal elements is going to be a moot point.
No, well, yes, I agree with Lyrian that that would be a moot point to attack him with mundane fire. What we can do is we can grease the floors. If they're undead, they're probably still gonna be following a
Okay. First of all, if there's multiple mummies there, that's far too difficult for our party to deal with.
Well, we don't know if there are or not multiple.
We only know that there is technically one at the door. 2, the only thing that we can really suffice to say is 100% certain is that Lyrian thinks there are mummies, and that we have dealt with whites before. If we take our chances, we set up right, we might be able to grease the floor, making it harder for them to stand on, while keeping us at the edge, so when we go to face them, we can kind of knock them prone and everything else, and they have to spend more time getting back up.
Sealdre raises her hand.
What's up, Sealdre?
I'm going to side with Lyrian and Troxel on this one. I would rather not risk a fight against one, possibly more mummies, especially since my tween is warning me against it.
Okay.
My what is warning me?
Oh. No, we don't fight that then.
What?
We don't fight that. If the reason she's trying to find a priest is telling her, nah fam, we good. Nah fam, we good.
She explains that she explains the reason the tween is saying this is because if it is a mummy, then one of them could single-handedly wipe out the entire group as you guys are right now.
So we bet our best bet is not to go into that room.
Yes, and we should probably see if we got permission to do so to begin with.
At this point, it's a moot point. Like, there's mummies down there, and they're tramping at the bit to try and come out. We need to find a way to. Do you think it'd be a couple days before we could get to and from Balmoral, right?
Yeah.
It'd be about 2 days to get to Balmoral.
What do you think we would need to face a mummy? Actually, better yet, if we went to Balmoral, we could research what it would take to beat a mummy while we're there, because they probably have some sort of library for intelligence there.
You actually could, yeah.
And maybe we could earn up money when we're there. And
Lyrian just kind of
goes.
Lyrian goes, or we could stop by my grandfather's, or my father's tower on Mage Lake Isle. He probably has some kind of research there.
Yeah.
That too, but even we can stop there as well. But the thing is we have to do both. We either do both or we do neither. We do the Balmoral one. Balmoral, we can potentially find weapons and armor that we can actually use against them. Because we're gonna need it at this point.
She suggests both then, because Major Lake Isle is on the way there.
Perfect. We'll stop on both. By the time we get back, we should have our answer from the port wells after they're done their deliberations.
I love how many side adventures we've gotten on that is completely derailed going to Nuxvar.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not trying to go directly to Nuxvar. I'm trying to solve as many problems so we have as many connections getting to Nuxvar.
And that's about the journey, not the destination.
Oh, no. I agree with you, Dottie. I agree with you on that one. I just think it's funny how, like, it started out by going, like, we're going to make a straight shot to Nuxvar, and we keep going back and forth between the same areas.
It's not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing, because, again,
I never said it was a bad thing. I never said it was bad.
By the time we get to Nuxvar, I'm going to be able to pay fucking Buddy for all the information he's gathered.
That, and I want to see if there's anything cool for, like, night stuff. Like, maybe they're jousting.
Speaking of nights, you do have that meeting with the night in Balmoral.
That's why we want to go to Balmoral again anyway, because again, Balmoral, we can meet the knight there, and then we can kind of go over this. I'm like, look, there's two things you can do to garner respect from people. A, you can help the common folk in all these towns. You can help the clans around. B, you could say suck it to the taxman.
Like you guys did.
that we did, and suddenly we're a lot richer. That poor tax guy's dead. I know it.
You are richer because I gave you 2 pieces of copper.
You're absolutely right, Dottie. And it has nothing to do with the tax man whatsoever. I digress. So, our plan of action is we have to go to Mage Lake Tower, gather information there. Do you, Lyrian, do you think you and Troxel can make a beeline right there? Gather what information you can, while the rest of us go to Balmoral? Or do you think we should all
go? I don't think you want to split the party. Point one, and I certainly don't think you want to go to Balmoral without me.
That is actually a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It's literally his home city.
So, how out of the way is the tower relative to Balmoral?
Pulling it up.
Do you want to talk and walk?
It's literally like, yeah, it's not that far off from the road to the left.
So why don't we just all stop at the tower and then all go on to Balmoral?
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
That works, I guess. Because it is not on this one. How dare you? You've lied to me for the last time.
What are you looking for, Mage Lake Isle?
No, I know where Mage Lake Isle was. I pulled up the Selsmire map, and Mage Lake Isle was just off of it. Like, you've lied to me for the last time. Alright, judging from that, yeah, we can go to Mage Lake Isle. And then we could probably... Is that gonna be off the trade route, or is that gonna be off the just the road?
What do you mean is it going to be off the trade route?
So looking at the Alverdan map,
Whoa! Okay, audience, this is exactly what I was talking about. This happened before, so just give me a second as I put everyone back on the stream where they belong. Okay. I hate it when it just does whatever it wants. I have to resort everyone. Okay, there's you.
don't you just hate it when you accidentally a potato?
Well, like this, every time this happens, the stream wants to automatically assign everyone to a random can, so I have to fix that. And Tom's on the wrong one. There we go. Showing stream. Showing stream. There we go. Everyone's back. Oi! Sorry for the technical difficulties. That's not Alberdam. I'm looking for. There we go. Okay, so for the Alberdam map specifically, anywhere that is a dotted line is a trade route. The red one is just the most is like the main road of the entire country.
The main trade route.
Yeah.
So are we going off of the main trade route? Is it going to be like we turn off the main trade route, or are we turning off of like one of the side trade routes?
You're turning off of the black trade route coming out from Redwick.
Okay.
Or Redwick region. It is fun trying to fix that, especially when the system's working against you.
It's always working against you. So we can actually probably stop in Redwick too. Actually, stopping in Redwick would probably be a...
That's literally on your way, so you're like your path is going to cut through there, so...
Yes, that's the point. That's why I said we should probably stop there. Either get
What we have to do in
provisions-
Redwood again?
We don't have anything to do in Redwick right now.
Yeah, Redwick's just a town you're passing through.
Yeah, we're passing through Redwick because...
I'm sorry, not even a town, it's a village you're passing through.
But we can pick up more supplies there as we go. And then depending on once we get to Mage Lake Isle or Balmoral or wherever else we're going to be going to at this point. This is literally going to turn into a game of how many times can we detour them away from Nuxfile.
I'm sure at some point either I or someone else will go through this and compile like a counter. Turn that into a short. That'll be fun.
We're on 5.
For now, though, you guys have your plan. We'll enact that plan after the break because we are 2 minutes until the break, so we'll go ahead and start that now.
Okay.
So I will see you guys.
Oh, how long will it take us to get to Belmora?
It's about like a 1 to 2 day walk. So.
Okay. Well, then let's go.
We'll do Mage Lake Isle first. We'll hit Mage Lake Isle.
Right.
Spend probably half a day scouting the information in there. Hopefully a lot shorter. Hopefully he's got some sort of, goblin running around in there who does the Dewey Decimal System.
Oh, goblin.
I don't think so.
Lyrian corrects you and says homunculus, but yeah.
Phenomenal. Should make finding the information easy, so it shouldn't take us more than maybe an hour or two. And then we go to Balmoral and we utilize that information and build ourselves up to be able to not deal with mummy rot.
Nope.
I digress. It's break time.
Yep,
And
it
I
is
have
break
to
time.
pee.
See you guys in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay!
3, 5, 4, fum. I smell the bones of an Englishman.
3, 5, 4, fum. Crossbone swords and a bottle of rum. Levi-o hum. No rest for the lily-livered pirate scum. From the dawning of the day to the drowning of the sun. No rest for the lily-livered pirate scum. Salt on my tongue from the spray of the sea. Drunk on the sun beating down on me. Bound for a treasure that's never been seen, where dead men lay their bones. Blood on my hands from the pull of the rope. No wind in our sails, so we have to row. And it's heave ho to the locker you'll go, where dead men lay their bones. Where dead men lay their bones. 3, 5, 4, fum. Crossbone swords and a bottle of rum. Levi-o hum. No rest for the lily-livered
lily-livered pirate scum. From the dawning of the day to the drowning of the sun, no rest for the lily-livered pirate scum. Shapes in the shadows wanna swallow us whole. The roar of the kraken tries to pull us below, so it's heave ho, or to the locker we'll go, where dead men lay their bones. Captain Jack throws another one back. He finishes a bottle while we're breaking our backs, so it's I cap until we give him the sack, where dead men lay their bones. Crossbones, swords, and a bottle of rum. Levi-ho-hum, no rest for the lily-livered pirate scum. From the dawning of the day to the drowning of the sun, no rest for the lily-livered pirate scum. Way, hey, and up he rises. Way, hey, and up he rises. Way, hey, and up he rises. Swords and a bottle of rum. Levi-ho-hum, no rest for the lily-livered pirate scum. From the dawning of the day to the drowning of the sun, no rest for the lily-livered pirate scum. Hoist the Jolly Roger!
Rumors heard from a little blackbird, the edges of a prophecy, the pieces I have learned. Said the daughter of the reaper has been searching for the keeper, and I feel she'll let me learn. Locked tied up in the tower on top of the domain of humanity, the godhood that I've earned. When you're holding on to majesty, you fear the hunter travesty, the balance may return. When you're sinful to the bone and holy, and you've claimed yourself a throne, like me, wield power of your own making. God hunter's gonna hunt you down. If you're something more than flesh, ascended, and you've taken on the rest to end it, and she'll find you in a dream, tormented. God hunter's gonna hunt you down. We are confined to the depths of my mind, for what could be such a threat to me, the conqueror of time. Yet the whispers of a reckoning have kept the spirits beckoning to look upon my crime. Blood and war, when the world is no more. She's been watching for a century with hatred and with scorn. If you know the hunter's coming, then you hide or keep on running, 'cause she's slain the gods before. When you're sinful to the bone burns bright. From filth we ascend to the tree of life. The lowly empowered and faith unite. We rise, all rise. So far we are, the hopes scattered among the fallen stars. The last note played on an old guitar. But we rise, oh rise, with hearts of thorns. We're matched with the will of the royal bond to stave off the fall of a house that's stolen. We rise, oh rise. We will die again where the oceans end, over and over. In the dragon's fire, we will testify, shoulder to shoulder. In the lands between, spirits sharp and clean, used with a purpose. Through the scarlet mist, for the maidenless, we rise and burn again. Instead of giving ourselves to the void of death, accepting the power for a final breath, we rise, oh rise, to yearn and burn with frenzy and flame to the rights we've earned. In face of the falsehood and secrets learned, we rise, oh rise. We will die again where the oceans end, over and over. In the dragon's fire, we will testify, shoulder to shoulder. In the lands between, spirits sharp and clean, used with a purpose. Through the scarlet mist, for the maidenless, we rise and burn again. Though some of us won't make it back, we're following into the back. Unknown for a long lost throne, we rise again, where others might look for escape. These lights in dark search for grace, once lost to a blood-soaked cause. We will rise through battlefields scarred by the gods. We're striving no matter the odds. When nothing can hold back the tide, we rise, we rise. Christless and exile were loyal the same, returning to roots through the worst of our pain. When kings rise against, have it writ on their grave. The old gods were felled by a mortal unnamed. We will die again where the oceans end, over and over. In the dragon's fire, we will testify, shoulder to shoulder. In the lands between, spirits sharp and clean, used with a purpose. Through the scarlet mist, for the maidenless, we rise and burn again. We rise
Welcome back, everybody. Well, not everybody. We're missing a couple people, and his is in the wrong area again. Dagnabbit.
Ha!
1 second.
Oh, that's who's eating.
Okay, so Bernard's still gone. Okay, so while waiting for Bernard, let's go ahead and do this. You essentially get back to the trade post, and there has been a response.
That was quick.
Well, it's been a day.
I figured they'd deliberate for at least 1 or 2 days.
Along with the letter, you see a contract.
Oh!
The letter states that you may enter, and there goes Troxel. What is happening?
Good question.
Is that you?
It's
That's
not me.
not
I'm not
good.
pressing anything that's causing this.
No, I meant the guitar.
Oh. No, that's not me.
That's me.
Did you get with Pandora, Kelly?
But I... No.
Pandora did ask something in a chat earlier.
Oh. Okay, hold on a second.
One. This thing is so horrifically out of tune.
Oh, someone joined. And it's Tom.
Welcome back to the party.
You have a very high quality mic, Tom.
Are you referring to me because of my chewing?
No, I've just meant it picks up a lot.
Yeah.
That's dang good. I'm gonna check on the pizza.
There's pizza?
Okay, so. Like I was saying. It states, so the letter states that as long as you sign the contract, you have permission to enter the tomb. The crypt.
Okay.
Okay. Contract.
Let me read the contract. What's the contract say?
Well, before we move on to that, the letter also states that if you enter the crypt without signing it, or you sign it but do not, or you do not have the signed contract on your person to prove that you have permission to go into the crypt when speaking to the Kanda House or the Port Royal House in the future, then it will be considered a treasonous action of trespassing in another nobleman's private property.
Can I ask you to repeat all of that?
Basically, the letter is saying that if you sign the contract, you have permission to enter the crypt, but only if you have the actual contract on hand. If it gets destroyed or anything like that before any official has a chance to see it and act as a witness outside of Troxel, then it's counted as trespassing to enter this crypt because there's no physical proof that you actually signed it and agreed to the terms.
Okay.
That's fine. Now, what's the contract say?
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Winston. How are you doing? Oh, no, that's not what I want. He just vanished. That's why. What is going on? Okay.
I'm gonna
Cam
go
4,
through
show on stream. There we go. Okay. Roll an intelligence check to see if you can figure that out.
Who? Telling.
Yeah?
Who?
Oh, you were rolling?
Who?
Who was rolling?
Troxel. Troxel said he wanted to look at the contract, so I told him to roll an intelligence check.
Whose line is it anyway?
Not mine. This ain't my show today.
What'd you say, Troxel?
15.
15? Okay. So, that succeeds. Let me go ahead and mark that down. So, essentially, what this contract is telling you is basically you have permission to go in there for about a week. That gives you time to investigate, clear out any of the monsters and all that kind of stuff. But there are conditions. The first condition is you must be ready to pay the Portwell House a fee of 5 gold pieces for permission to enter. And if any of the following happens, it accrues additional expenses. First of all, any damage to structures, farmland, and property in the local area will be an additional 1 to 5 platinum pieces. Any damage to the crypt directly, aka the actual structure, the building itself, would be an additional 5 to 10 platinum pieces. Any undead that escapes the area and risks harm to the populace, 20 platinum pieces. And then if any relics or artifacts are destroyed, then you must pay the full price of said relic or artifact in order to
So it probably.
So they're looking to make money off this. That's all that's stating.
It's less of like making money off of more like, hey, if you damage the property, you have to pay for repairs and all that kind of stuff.
No, this is straight up them like, hey, if anything goes wrong, we need money.
More importantly, they're implying that the artifacts and anything we find in there are theirs.
That's the least of it. I was expecting that in the contract. I wasn't expecting, hey, if a farmland gets a hair moved over, you can accrue up to 5 platinum in damages.
No. Troxel, as Troxel looks at it, is because he rolled successfully. It's essentially like any actual damage, not like if one thing was like broken or something like that. It's like actual damage to the area.
Yes. In which case it's going to be their word against ours that if it was caused by us. They're basically stating in this contract that they would rather have money than us solve the problem.
It's called extortion.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, isn't that what Grimshaw does with his contracts?
Yeah.
What? No, not at all. That's why Grimshaw knows it when he sees it. There's a difference. When Grimshaw does it, it actively benefits more than just him. When the Portwell House or whatever does it, it's just actively benefiting the Portwell House and only the Portwell House. Because if you haven't noticed, Grimshaw actually does keep his people alive. He has never once denied that fact.
Well, let's just take the contract and leave since we're not ready to go in anyhow.
probably a good idea. We'll take the contract with us, we'll take the fucking note with us, so when we get to Balmoral, we can talk to them there.
Alright. Onwards then! Excelsior!
Onwards, 2 more problems! The problem sound has come on!
The tradesman is like, would you guys like a rough map of the area you're gonna go in?
Do we know where we're going roughly?
We know we're going to Mage Lake Isle or whatever it is. Mage Lake Isle. And then we know we're going up to Balmoral, which would be...
How much does a rough map cost?
That is a good question. Let me pull that up.
How much does a not rough map cost? How much does a good map cost?
Manuals. Economy. Miscellaneous. Nah, here we go. Okay, so. Medium simple map is going to be 3 silver pieces to 8 silver pieces, depending on the design and material and all that kind of stuff. A moderately detailed one is going to be 8 silver pieces to 2 gold pieces, and a detailed one is going to be 2 gold pieces to 5 gold pieces.
I don't think so. Because we have Lyrium, who's familiar with the local area.
She shakes her head. She's never been this far west.
You've never been to the Mage Tower?
No, she hasn't.
Oh, yuck. Okay, so how much is it going to be then?
For a medium simple, 3 silver pieces to 8 silver pieces. That's not going to give you detailed elements in the area, just the general roads. Moderate is going to be 8 silver pieces to 2 gold pieces. That's going to give you a moderately detailed area, like general details in the area, but not anything specific. And then a medium detail will give you all the information.
And how much is that again?
Detailed one is 5 silver pieces to 1 gold piece, 5 silver pieces. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the small one. Medium one is 2 gold pieces to 5 gold pieces. My bad. So in this case, it would just be like 3 gold pieces is the map you would be buying.
I applaud this man's savvy ability to try and make money in any given situation.
That is literally his job.
Yes.
Owaka, at your service.
I'm willing to pay 1 gold and 3 silver for the best map that you have available at that price.
Does anyone else want to pitch in?
I'll do 1 gold.
Anyone else?
I'll throw in 7 silver, just to make it an even 3.
All right, there you go.
I will give a hearty smile.
He's like, yeah, that's nice gear. Okay. So, you guys purchase a medium-sized detailed map. Let me send you the map. And hopefully I have it on here as well. I do, indeed. Okay, so. Images. Maps. There's. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Stupid Nitro. Gonna have to give you guys a screenshot. It's so annoying. There's your screenshot. And for the audience at home, here is the map.
Okay, so where are we?
You aren't on this map yet. You're off to the right, but you see the road right under the river, the lower river.
Yeah.
You'll be coming
Okay.
into this map on that road.
So basically, our first stop, we're hit basically Halith's watchtower, followed by Garrick's watchtower. Then hop skip over to probably Redwick, hitting that fucking trading post right there. And then Mage Lake. And from Mage Lake, we'll hop onto that main trade route right there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. We have our bullshit. And I hope you're all ready for hiking. Because let's see what's on this road of misery.
Grimshaw, it's pretty black in your area.
Shouldn't be.
I hope we'll find a badger.
Oh,
What?
I see. Mage Lake Isle. So it's to the northwest, or it's to the west actually.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. I see. Okay, ready. So we're on our way then.
Everyone's ready? Then yes.
Yep.
Onwards and Excelsior, my friends. Scroll down here.
Hello.
Norna.
Hello.
Oh, Kitty. I can barely see it. Might want to turn lights on, Grimshaw.
That would require me to get up. I could also do this.
Ah, that works.
Flashbang from my computer.
Kitty!
You're mine now. The official team mascot of whatever we call ourselves. Grimshaw's band of miscreants.
All right. As you guys continue your journey along the road, keeping your eyes off to the sides for anything of interest or dangers or anything like that, a couple of you notice a few things that seem a little bit off. I want everyone to roll me an intelligence check.
Can I do a survival? The one that I have actually for this situation.
What specific check are you talking about?
Alertness.
Yeah, you can use alertness.
Do I have alertness? I gotta find where all my Grimshaw stuff is now, because apparently it's not like showing up for me.
What do I roll for alertness?
D100 or D20, you just have to roll low. And Grimshaw, you and I need to sit down and work out your character sheet.
I've sent you my character sheet like 6 times. All 6 times I had it fully filled out, and somehow it got lost.
Literally, I never really received it. So
That's an 11 with a 1.
yeah, I
In
know.
alert.
You can still roll an intelligence check if you want.
Oh, okay. Do I want high or low for that?
Low. Oh no, sorry, high. My bad.
Oh, well, that's a 10.
All right.
Grimshaw wants to find himself.
You said that was a 1?
I rolled a 10.
Oh, 10.
So
my
there's
bad.
a 1 in there.
There is
Gotcha.
indeed a 1 in there.
Anyone else rolling or
I rolled a 9.
9? Ooh,
Yeah, I rolled like a 17.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Why is that interesting? Was I supposed to roll high on that one?
Yeah, it's like a
Oh,
straight intelligence.
Fantastic. I rolled a 7.
Bernard, did you roll anything or no? Hello?
Bernard?
I rolled 20. So I rolled.
Oh, you rolled a 20.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so let me see here real quick. Which one is it? Here we go. Ooh, okay. So Grimshaw, you guys you and Bernard are kind of like noticing something. You ask the party to stop real quick. Looking around, you notice that the landmass here is a little bit weirder than normal hill. It doesn't look natural to you, or it looks natural, but also at the same time not natural. And you see, and like looking carefully, you can kind of see like a whole bunch of indentions, almost similar to that of the crater from Briar Glen, but way more tiny. And then Bernard just kind of goes, "Hey, Grimshaw, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing?" And he kind of like, because like Bernard, what you're seeing, and you have to like back up a good ways, like stand on one of the horses trying to get a better view. From what you can tell, this hill doesn't look like a hill to you. It almost looks like an island.
Wait, what is this? It looks like an island?
Yes. Specifically, it looks like an island that was in the air and crashed to the ground.
What is this? This floating island that fell to the ground?
So this would have been a long time ago, I trust.
Long time ago, yes.
We might want to check this out. I'm not sure.
Definitely want to check it out, but the question is, can we find an entrance to what was obviously something magical a long time ago?
So it's worth the look because, again, it's probably going to be in the center of the island. May as well go investigate it. I mean, gotta be important, right?
Alright, that's you guys, advance towards. So how do you start searching for it?
I wanna sniff it.
No.
Do you want to lick it, too?
If it comes to it, I will. For the good of the crew.
So Talia starts sniffing the grass. And that leads her to a patch of flowers that she found. She just sits there sniffing it.
Progress!
What kind of flowers are these? Are these puppies?
Wildflowers.
Okay. I guess we'll just start scouting around, start looking around, see if I see any traps, any kind of.
Hey, Troxel, you got magic vision, don't you?
I have a detect magic. That's it. I have a see invisibility. I can do that, but I think everything's covered right now.
See if you can see anywhere where there's any remnant magic deeper into this floating island thing.
Oh, okay. What I have to do there is I have sensitivity to psychic compression. I'll try that.
Okay, let me pull that up again. Snake. Where's that coming from?
That's from Grimshaw.
He has a guitar.
No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean that thing we've been hearing for the past 5 minutes?
It's only been 5 minutes. I've been playing the shit out of this thing. I've just been sitting here like tapping on it. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I've been rolling my dice on it and everything.
Here we go. Okay. Troxel, roll me a percentile check. So D100.
Okay. 11.
Man, you're getting all these rolls. Okay, good. So first things first, you start to you activate psychic compression, and it takes a moment, but you can feel something in there. Focusing on it, you feel something similar and akin to what you felt sensing the crater in the in Briar Glen. Fear, desperation. You focus more on it, and you trigger a vision, essentially. You see in the sky a floating island, with arrows launching off of it, and fireballs being launched up into the sky. You see, and then at some point, what you see is a fireball of massive size that dwarfs all the other ones in comparison. You see it explode against the island as it splits in two and starts to crumble and fall down onto your vision, and then everything goes back to normal.
Okay.
Oh, and by the
it's falling, my last vision of it, how do I see that falling relative to the island that we're on? Do I think that, how would I think to access that, if at all?
So, essentially, and this is what I'm showing you is from the point of view of someone looking directly up at it. You saw the island like this, so like the bottom is facing towards you. Fireball strikes it in the center, it cracks, splits in two, and then falls like this. So face down, it's like the top part is now down.
Top part is now down. Okay.
And when the psychic impression ends, you find that you had, following the psychic impressions, you're now standing on the very top of the hill or island. And everyone, when you guys saw him enter his trance, you saw him like slowly walk up to the top of the hill or island. So
Then
yeah.
I'll explain what I saw with psychic impressions to everybody. I don't know whether it's a dig here or not, but I think it's upside down. It was a floating island. It split in half. There were warlike elements from both the ground and from the island.
Did you see where the two halves, where the other half fell?
The other half is right beside this one half. I think they're both parts of the same island. There's not another half around. Am I correct in that?
Yeah. So basically what you're standing on, like now that you're standing on the top of it, you're essentially looking at what looks like this. This is the island.
Okay.
Okay. So maybe if we went straight down, we could.
But you don't see anything except vegetation like growing all over this thing. So
Yeah, it almost requires like a dwarven excavation or a come back when you have an earth elemental to dig for you.
This. Okay. Dang. Well, fine. I'm gonna use sense magic.
you're gonna use what?
Sense magic.
What do you mean sense magic?
Not sense magic. What is it called?
Detect magic?
Yeah, detect magic. Detect magic.
Bernard casts detect magic. You actually detect magic.
Okay, where's it coming from?
You start kind of trying to trace it. You eventually manage to hone in on a certain area. It looks like a little bit further into the woods, into the forest. You're getting a lot of magical detection from this, and your best guess is that there is a gate that's open right now.
Yes.
Gate?
Gate, yes. So in other words, occasionally, negative and positive energy can slip through into the material plane outside of the moon and sun. And these are referred to as energy gates. Sometimes, most oftentimes, it is not enough to be harmful unless you're standing on top of the gate for like a full 24 hours. However, there are some gates that can be bigger and more dangerous because of that, flooding the area with energy. This appears to be your average, very small gate that's just leaking energy through. And from what
If
Bernard
somebody
can...
would go through that gate, they're not sure where that would take them. Is that correct?
It's not the kind of gate where you can actually jump through. So the idea is, think of it as there are ethereal doorways. Only ethereal creatures could go through these doorways. So what Bernard is detecting is he's detecting negative energy coming from this gate.
Oh, okay. So it's a gate that we don't want to go through.
You can't go through these gates.
Well, I mean, we don't want to be around because something bad can come through there, most likely.
Well, we can be around it for a short period of time, from what you told
Yeah.
us, Chris.
Yeah, it's not a lethal
Let's go
dosage.
and check it out.
That's the thing. Like, he can tell you where it is, but you guys wouldn't be able to see the gate unless you have ultra vision, in which you could actually see some of the energy manifesting with your ultra vision, which I think Dottie actually has.
Well, we
She
both
is
have.
No, you have infravision. She has ultra vision.
Okay.
Ultra vision.
So yeah, now that Bernard has pointed out the direction of it, Dottie, you can actually see some of this dark energy emanating from this random spot, as it just kind of like pools out like a fog-ish.
Okay, what do my keen halfling eyes tell me?
Like I said, you see the energy coming off from this random spot and just kind of floating down outwards like a kind of like a fog, and just spreads around the area.
Can I go, whoa, and then start toddling off over there?
Yeah, you can. And so, and again, like for Dot, and keep in mind, the farther out it goes from the source, the more thin it becomes, and therefore the harder it is to see until it's not really visible anymore. And to you, again, it's dark, like it's a dark coloration, but it's still generating light for you. So it's a weird sensation for you.
So I will go to where it's resonating.
Yep. It's kind of like this glowing aura as stuff just peels out.
Can I investigate it? Like,
it's not tangible. All you can do is see. All you can do is see it coming out. Yeah. Again, this is an ethereal gate. The only reason you can see, the only reason you can see this is because ultravision allows you to see heavy concentrations of magic, or magic that's designed to generate enough to light up an area.
Okay, so we can see it. We just can't do anything with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But you have identified what it is and where it is, and Dottie can actually see it spreading across the area.
So I guess we just keep searching around I'll keep searching around the island and see if I can find some kind of cave or something.
All right, roll an intelligence.
$12.
Alright. So yeah, no. You don't spot anything, unfortunately.
Wait. Modifiers.
What do my dwarven eyes see? Lead me to
With my modifier, it's actually 14.
And there goes Bernard. I don't think it's 14. Oh, he only has... Okay, yeah. So it would be 14. Yeah, unfortunately, my friend, that does still fail. Cancel. No, not that one. I want it on 4. There we go. All right. So what do you guys want to do, Grimshaw? As you're hearing all this nerd talk from everyone.
That's why I'm really here. Someone has to protect all these nerds. But he said something about looking for a cave, and I am very good at finding holes in the ground.
Roll an intelligence check.
16.
Yeah, that succeeds. Yes. So you go looking for a cave, Grimshaw. You don't find a cave, but you do see kind of like mounds in the ground as you kind of recognize, like you kind of like slow down after a moment and stop as you look around. You realizing, oh, I'm standing in the middle of a makeshift burial ground.
Oh.
Oh no.
And you've already been told that negative energy can create naturally forming undead.
Well, now we have to investigate this. And considering this probably doesn't belong to the people who lived under it, I believe it is okay for us to dig into it. Into it. We're gonna dig into it.
Do we have
Do you have a shovel or anything?
I have my hands.
I used to have a shovel, I think. Let me check and see if I still do.
Let me check it and see if the bandits from Sunfire Isle still.
What, Dottie?
Can I offer Grimshaw my shield as a scooping shovel?
Probably not.
Why? It's a kite shield.
Oh, it's a kite shield. I guess you could try, but this is, you have to keep in mind that this is not like very soft and loose dirt. This is already hardened with a lot of vegetation over it, so you still have to pierce through the crusty layer, the crusty surface to get to the soft dirt. So it's still going to be very difficult. I'm sorry, you're muffled. I can't hear you what you're saying.
What if he smashed it with a hammer of hallucinant?
That wouldn't really do much.
No shovel.
Again, you have to get through the vegetation as well as everything else. Those roots keep the so it's not as simple as that. Because the shield may be angled, but it's not a bladed end. It is a wood.
Then I'll use my trusty bastard sword to hack at these knives.
No. I wouldn't. Why?
Grimshaw, the digging expert, is there any recommendations your dwarven character has?
Theoretically, if we break that first area with this the farther down you go, the harder it's going to dig. That first crusty layer is not that hard to break. It's the farther down you go and the most unturned earth, and the more you go down, the harder it gets.
Yeah, but again,
that's actively coming from someone who digs for a profession.
But at the same time, we're also talking about, like, she's talking about specifically a blunt shield and using that to dig with.
I mean,
find a point.
You're talking about it comes to a point
angled, but it's not
way.
pointed. Because again, it's not like a thin sheet of metal. It is a proper like wooden built shield with frames on it. So.
I mean, the wooden portion of it would probably break under the pressure. Is the problem? Is where we would suffer a problem. But like the actual metal, if it was like fully reinforced metal, you could probably make it.
What, Dottie?
I don't want to have wood on my shield. It's a plate type shield.
I can't hear you. I can't hear what you're saying.
Didn't I purchase a plate type shield?
She's asking, didn't she purchase a steel shield, a plate shield?
There would still be wooden ribbing on it.
Yeah, no, no, it just states small shield. It doesn't say anything about it being like solid metal. You picked a small shield, but not like a buckler. Buckler would be like pure metal. small shield wouldn't be like 90% of the time shields are gonna be made out of wood with metal framing on it.
Right.
So we didn't specify it was gonna be solid metal shield, so because that would up the price immensely.
And up the weight immensely.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, so no, your shield wouldn't be able to do it. I will say, if you're able to cut through the vegetation and loosen up the surface with your sword, you could probably attempt that.
I'm gonna hold off on everything as it feels pretty irrelevant.
Okay.
Oakley dokley. So, our best bet is again Balmoral. Get a shovel for this place. Mark it on our map. So
There you
we
go.
can come back and dig this place up. And then dig the other place up.
Thou hath marked it on your map.
Is it currently on the map at all or not?
No, it is not on the map.
Okay.
But this could also be another portion of where all the zombies are coming from.
What are we gonna call it?
Dirt mound.
How about Island Mystery?
Again, right now it's just a dirt mound.
I do appreciate the attempt at the nomenclature, though.
Okay. Let's keep going then. Good job, Bernard.
Thanks.
Fantastic Bernardine.
All right. Eventually, you guys reach the hamlet Clacton. I'm assuming you're gonna want to keep going past that.
Yeah, there's not much here in a hamlet.
Mm-hmm.
Does the hamlet have a cheeselet?
What?
Don't worry about it.
You pass. So you pass Paleth Watch. You see, a decent amount of soldiers. Not only kind of like patrolling the area, but you see a couple of them like a small squadron of soldiers training. Looks like training complete freshies.
I was gonna say they're doing it all wrong.
No, like, dude, it looks like they recruited these guys out of the hamlet. Like, yeah.
My Paul's axe. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna spend a day and train people how to fight. That's not my position.
So as you move on from Paleth Watch, off by the hills, you look at what looks to be the ruins of a tower. And when I say ruins, I mean like there's like barely anything left of this structure. You can only guess that it was a tower based off of the circular pattern.
What time of day is it?
It hasn't hit midday yet.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep our march going as far as we can take it. Hopefully we can make it at least to Garrick's Watchtower or maybe across the bridge.
Yeah, well, before you get there, you do hit a crossroads. And at those crossroads, you see two women kind of like talking to each other in hushed voices off the road, and they look kind of nervous.
Eavesdropping as we walk on right by them.
Well, when you guys start, as they notice your approach, they start to get a little bit more nervous and kind of like back out of the way. They're no longer talking.
Couldn't hear a single word they said up until we got there, huh?
Nope, they saw you too quickly.
I wanna
Darty's waving.
Yeah,
Dottie's waving at him.
Roll a charisma
Hello.
check.
Darty rolled charisma check.
What?
What'd you roll?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know. I didn't roll anything.
I can't hear you.
I did not roll anything.
Okay, so I said to roll a charisma check.
Oh, okay. The one thing that I'm good at doing. Not today. That's a 2.
Isn't charisma supposed to be low?
I'm sorry, what?
Isn't charisma supposed to be low?
No, no, so two things. One, that's intimidation. Intimidation is low. Charisma is higher.
Can I intimidate them with my wave?
So you see the young. So one of them's a young adult. One of them looks to be mature. The young adult just kind of like gives a shy wave back, and the older woman kind of like puts her hand down and is like, shh.
Just gonna look at him, smile. The Grimshaw, big toothy grin.
Roll a charisma check with a -10.
Oh no, this isn't me being nice.
Oh, you're being intimidating?
And I'm gonna look at her and go, what do you two have to hide?
Okay, roll
Bunch of
a
travelers.
-25. So now you want to roll up.
The Grimshaw effect. Here we go. You said with a -25, right?
Yes.
I rolled a 13.
So the young adult is terrified of you. The mature one is standing firm, giving you a hard stare back. As she goes, "None of your business, traveler."
Well, that's not very polite.
You just stay out of our business. And mind you, she's almost hugging the young adult, kind of like protectively.
I am here to terrify. 2. Business is my business. Won't you do business with me?
Are you still intimidating, or are you actually trying to persuade her this time?
Oh, I would gladly intimidate her into business.
Yeah, she's not responding to that.
Fair.
She is just like, no. Now leave us alone.
By all means, we could have helped.
Again, keep in mind she is hugging the younger girl protectively.
I know.
Yeah.
We.
So your
are
intimidation's only putting her guard up mode even more high up. It's not convincing her to actually ask for help.
Fair. Not my place to judge what you not asking for help when you need it. But
Do all of you
there
walk
and
on
again,
then, or?
I guess we'll walk on. They don't need our help. They're perfectly fine solving the problems themselves.
Anybody?
Yes, Bernard?
I'm gonna try and talk to him. Look,
Is anyone else gonna join him? Hello?
Anybody else?
Anyone else gonna talk?
I don't,
Or is it just gonna be me walking by? We all just walking by these poor, forsaken souls.
I don't think it's. Is there anything around that's going to harm you or harm us?
They roll a charisma check.
Shake my hand. Won't you?
20-sided?
No, D100.
Oh, that's too bad. I just rolled a natural 20. Okay. 89.
All right, there you go. Okay, so you're saying that, Bernard, what are you saying? And Dottie, are you joining in or are you staying out of this?
Look, so we're not here to hurt you or steal from you or anything. We just see that you guys are in some serious distress, and as you can see, our group is equipped to take on many different problems, and so we just want to figure out what is going on. If there's something we can help you with, some way we can assist you, or there's some danger up on the road, it's just let's see if we can help you. No charge. Just let's see if we can help you.
Okay, now you roll a charisma check. Dottie, you were saying something?
My attempts at charisma are quite futile at the moment, so I'm gonna just let everyone else handle this.
Can't let a bad roll get you down.
12. 17.
Do you have any modifiers to that?
No modifiers.
Okay, so unfortunately that fails. But Troxel's, but you and Troxel working together kind of wears them down a little bit as
Grimshaw walks away.
she's still hugging the younger one protectively, but she just kind of goes, "No monsters in the area. No."
Bandits? So what has you so freaked out? You see, our problem is we see two scared people in the middle road, in the middle of crossroads, is kind of unnerving for us. So we're trying to figure out what's the problem.
Okay, roll another charisma check.
That's a 14. No.
So you met this roll. 14 for 14. Okay, so essentially what happens is she gives you a vague answer. So she tells you that they need to cross the bridge, but they really don't want to cross the bridge with the watchtower being there. Like they do not feel comfortable engaging with any royal guards, any soldiers, any guardsmen, no one. They're really trying to avoid that.
Oh.
But they can't get past the river by they can't just cross the river. They have to use the bridge to get past it. And yeah, that's their issue.
Okay.
Am I in earshot or did I fucking walk away?
Language. And I don't know, were you just walking away as everyone's talking, or did you stop once Bernard started to talk to her?
I would assume that I stopped, but I don't know if I'd be like actively listening. So if like I peek to hear, it'd be one thing. But like,
But like I'm sitting here just like out of character. I'm like, Grimshaw would be like, hey, we hate the government as much as you hate the government.
Yeah. Well, we're not. I'll tell him, say like he says it. We're not
Well,
a big fan.
Grimshaw didn't say that is the point.
Yeah.
I'll say it. We're well. Where's the watchtower that she's talking about?
Down the road you're headed.
Down the road I'm headed. Okay. Invisibility. How many people can I cast that on?
You can cast you can cast that on one person.
On one person. No, that won't work. Well,
Are you trying to help them for their travel?
What?
Bernard?
yeah.
Okay. Then I will offer a song and dance to help them along their way.
Yeah.
And I will use Sam.
Look, we're going that way anyway, and we have a noble with us, so he can talk you through the guards, and no guard's going to do anything with my friend Grimsaw there. He's as you can see, he's quite scary, and people have a good reason to be scared of him.
So you're offering to accompany them across the bridge?
Yeah.
Roll a charisma check with a plus 50.
I've got a big old hammer, and people fear me every day.
That's still D20, right?
D100.
D100.
Charisma check is a D100. Dude, I don't want to know what you would have to roll a D20 with a plus 50.
Listen, if I gotta roll a plus 50 with a D20, I'm definitely hitting.
It would be a plus 10 on a D10 20. If it's a plus 50 on a D100, it's plus 10 on a D20.
I got a 24.
Plus 50, yeah, that works. They begrudgingly accept. Well, the older one begrudgingly accepts because she's not really seeing any other way. The young maiden is quickly like thanking all of you for assisting them. And Grimshaw, you watch as they start catching up with you, with the two maidens in tow.
Okay, so we'll Troxel, you can go in front, and so we can talk our way through it. You and Grimsaw go in front. Dottie, you and Hyde be on either side of him.
Okay, I'll lead on across the bridge.
The two maidens quickly pull their cloak up, their hoods up before they get to the tower within range. You see the soldiers, the guardsmen, all that kind of stuff, who are patrolling the area, just kind of like keeping an eye out. As you guys approach, one of the, what looks like to be the head of the guard kind of approaches and goes, "Halt! Wait a minute." Goes, and he basically tells you like that there's a toll across the bridge.
Is this still the Port Wells?
No. Okay, so here's the thing: you're essentially you're at the border essentially between the Port Wells and the Candles. And I was about to say, as soon as he sees you, Mr. Candle, he's like, "Oh, sir. My apologies. I didn't recognize. Go right ahead."
Okay, so we'll cross the bridge then, without paying our toll.
Yep, pretty much, because they're with you, and the Candles never get told.
What to do? Candles never get told what to do.
You guys get to the other side, and the younger one kind of like exhales her breath while the older one just kind of looks at you suspiciously at why the sight of you got them across a bridge without a toll, without any hassle.
Best not to overthink it, lasses. Just good graces as they come.
Roll a persuasion check. With a plus 25.
That would be an 80.
You meet it. Damn, that's impressive. Alright. So you guys essentially get past the bridge. You're now past all that. It's starting to get a bit dark, but you still have enough time to reach Redwick or the trading post and Redwick before it actually starts to reach sunset.
Well, as we walk, could I? I'm not trying to pry into your business, but just do you mind if I ask why you're so scared to cross the bridge with the guards?
So the young one looks up to her, the older one. She just kind of shakes her head and goes, "No, I'm afraid I can't tell you at this time. But I will say, if we ever encounter you again, or if you ever see us again, please let me know. We would love to pay you back when we have the chance."
It's always good to do favors for strangers. You never know when it's going to come back for you.
She nods and goes, "We must always look after each other." And with that, they take a split in the road going north.
I.e., not the same direction we're going.
Correct.
We are going west.
Speaking of, as you're walking there, you spot a large group of individuals that are heavily armed, on horseback, that do not look like they're part of the Alverdanian Guard or Kingdom.
You think there's your Knights of Reckoning again?
Nope.
I would not say yes to that ever.
So they're kind of like riding in your direction and kind of like slow down as they start passing you. It looks like a patrol of about like 30 people on horseback with weapons and bows and all sorts of stuff. And a couple of them have what looks to be like a wolf sigil like painted onto their armor.
Do I recognize that since we're now in the Kendall
Yes,
home
yes,
territory?
actually. You recognize these guys as the Wolf Gang. They're essentially a mercenary band. Your house kind of like pays them to do like daily patrols and that kind of stuff to help ease off the burden off the military.
Okay.
But at the same time, you know, they are mercenaries.
They can be bought.
And they can be rough.
I like these people already.
Yeah, speaking of which, they hone in on you immediately, and there's like, "Whoa, nice strong arm you got there, son."
I'm gonna size them all up. I'm just gonna look them up and down and go, "Not bad looking yourselves. What are you doing around this place this time of year? What's the good word on the street?"
They're just shrugging. They're just like, just being paid to patrol this stupid countryside.
Easy work as it is, and it's probably a decent clip coming from whoever owns this place.
They're shrugging. They're like, "We have it easy right here, but there are other places where it's not too easy. There's been a lot of demi-human attacks lately. I heard that around the border there's hobgoblins attacking a group of mercenaries."
Oh yeah? You got a location for that?
Yeah, they tell you it's further north. It's the Silver Hawks that were attacked.
Silver Hawks that were attacked. I don't
think we have that on our map right now.
You do actually.
I see this one. I do not see. Oh. Oh, is that like the north one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that one. Yeah, that's a little bit out of our way. We're not going over there.
Mm-hmm. About a week ago, they were attacked by some bandits, but they were able to drive them off. Still have some of the wounded to take care of, but you know.
Oh, maybe we'll get in touch with them. Help them out a little bit. We're here trying to solve as many problems as we can from place to place.
Mm-hmm.
Just a group of solvers, less mercenary work and more odd jobs.
You see one of the you see like one of the what who looks like to be like the leader of this patrol, and he just kind of like gives you a knowing look and says, "Payment in favors is still payment, my friend."
Oh, I know very well payment in favors.
I bet you do. Now then, we should probably be off. We gotta finish this up. Oh.
Stay safe on the roads.
He's like, he's like, stay safe? He kind of gives you a grin and says, what fun is there in that? As they continue on.
God, I like these people already. People really know the way to my heart, don't they? Here we go. I'm not gonna say that line. I can't say that line. Good Christian stream.
All right, so you continue on. You eventually reach the trading post. At this point, you can kind of see the river up off in the horizon. And to your left, there is a collection of large hills with a temple up at the top of it. And keep in mind, you guys are basically out of the woods completely now. You're like looking at mostly plains. Like hills and grasslands and all that kind of stuff.
How fast are they flying?
Well, no,
The river that we're now looking at, this new one, that's Ford's Folk Folly, is that
yes.
it?
Ford's Folly, yes. One asked a question, a very important question. How fast are these planes flying?
So the temple's the temple of the traveler,
Yep.
according to our map.
You're just completely avoiding it, the question.
Indeed.
How could you, Christian? I believed in you.
Look, there's only so many puns I'll be able to handle.
Hey, I thought the same way, and here I am making them.
I did try to bless the travelers earlier.
I did not catch that. Did you guys want to try and get anything at the trade supply, or are you just passing right through?
I want to get something there.
More poison.
No.
So, what are you trying to get?
Do they have bolts? Crossbow bolts.
Okay, so. They do have some crossbow bolts. This is also a more populated trading post than the last one. There's a lot more traffic in this area. How many bolts did you want to purchase?
I'll go ahead and do 10.
10 bolts?
Yeah.
Where is it? Here we go. It's a light crossbow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see here. So that'll be 3 gold pieces.
3 gold piece. Wow.
That's expensive.
He kind of shrugs and says, "Look, we're low on supplies at this point, and everyone's been buying these lately. It's a big supply and demand issue. Not to mention all the taxes and the, the economy going on right now." And he's kind of like going off the list while Bernard's like fetching his coin.
So let me ask you something. What's going on recently that a lot of people are buying light crossbow bolts?
He's kind of like he doesn't like go like, "Don't you know," or something like that, because he recognizes that you guys are travelers, and he explains that despite the amount of patrols they have out trying to guard and protect, keep the place cleared out, occasionally there are different things that get through the lines of defense. Sometimes it's something as simple and average as wolves. Sometimes it's some demi-humans. Sometimes a hamlet or two gets raided by bandits. He tells you that like about a month or two ago, there was a let me pull it up. Tells you that there was a hamlet right outside the bridge, the lower bridge of the Parain River on this map, right beside Songcoast. If you look at the ruins on the hilltop by that river, though, that was actually once a village. Oh no, not that one. I'm talking about not that one. In the middle of Sunrise Plains, you can see like the broken house. That was the village that was destroyed by They got attacked by demi-humans. They got attacked by raiders. The raiders were the ones that destroyed the place. Well, no, actually, it was a combination of it. Demi-humans attacked, raided. Bandits came and raided the rest of the stuff. And then, when they were defenseless, demi-humans came and destroyed what was left.
So you're saying in the Sunrise Plains to the south, it's a broken house-looking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where people done got messed up.
Correct. So a lot of people have been doing their best to try and arm themselves a little extra, just in case.
Randall's definitely letting the French folk down, aren't they?
He just kind of like shrugs and goes, "Look, I've heard it both ways. I've heard people complain, I've heard people defend. And in truth, they have been putting a great deal of effort trying to curb this. But between the demi-human attacks, the bandit attacks, the animal attacks, and the Knights of Reckoning attacks, like it's just too much for them to handle all at once. Even with the help of the mercenaries, it's difficult." So yeah, you guys actually have someone defending the candles this time.
Hey, can you still hear me?
Good.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Where's my...
No, I'm neither here nor there. For the nobility in this country, I am very much a traveler.
I don't know. I get like he gets that. He's not saying you're judgmental or anything like that. I'm just saying, as meta-wise, this is one of the very few people you've had defending nobility. So,
I assume the closer we get to the Crandall House and the Portwell House, the more easily people the less vocal the offenders will be, and the more vocal the defenders will be. It's just really weird that we're all the way out in the Fringe folk area right now, and it's like, yes, we're defending him. It's like, okay, so the Crandalls don't seem entirely too bad. Because this is really the first chance we've actually had to deal with the Crandalls.
Candle, but yeah.
Candles. So let's continue on, please.
Alright, so you restock on your bolts, and then we move on. You eventually hit the... What?
We're probably going to stop in the town of Redwick and spend a night there.
Village, but yes, probably.
Close enough.
So you guys reach Redwick, and it is starting to hit sunset. And you said you wanted to stay there for the night?
It would be smart for us to stay in a town for the night as opposed to sleeping on the road.
All right. So Cieldre is going to advise that she's looking around this village. And she's like, yeah, these guys probably don't have an inn, so we should probably start asking around, see if there's someone who can let us stay at their place.
Yeah. Maybe do a little bit of work. Somebody can scoop shit around here, I swear. Do something for the people here so we can actually, live transactionally.
She kind of looks at you and says, you do that automatically by sharing news of what's happening out of town.
Oh, we don't have entirely a bunch of news other than from Selsmeyer, but...
She kind of looks at you and says, yeah, I would say that news from Briar Glen and what happened there is kind of important.
True. Maybe not what happened just outside of it, but yeah, what happened in Briar Glen would probably be important. We kind of look at Cieldre and just give her a wink about the as if to like notify her, like, yes, about the tax collector.
And she just kind of gives us a like, I'm not even gonna address that.
Oh, you.
No, it's literally like her version of like, what tax collector? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. yeah, we know.
All right.
All right.
Who wants to be the one to knock at the door?
Definitely not Grimshaw. I'm the scariest on our
Knock at the
team.
door for what? Not at the door at the. It's not an inn. Is it an inn?
No, it's
No,
not.
we don't.
an inn.
There's no inns here. This is basically like a small hamlet of people who are just kind of like.
No, not Hamlet. It's a village,
So
but
why are we knocking? Why do we want to stay in some lice-infested small town house as opposed to camping out?
Because that's how you get lice infested in the first place.
Oh.
Would you rather?
so
no,
it's-
would you?
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Would you rather be tick infested or lice infested?
There's no Lyme disease in
That we know of.
the
There could be worse.
Controlled area. It's like Camelot.
Isn't Camelot
I
like
wouldn't-
super dirty?
Well, he's talking about the fantasy Camelot, and I would not say it's that well off. Not that well off. Don't forget the state the kingdom in isn't because of the king. So.
While they're meeting on opening up the door and knocking and talking to the people, Buddy's gonna wander off with her horse and go lay in a ditch somewhere and pass out for the night.
Okay, so while you guys are knocking on doors, you turn around, Dottie's gone.
Again.
She'll turn up. At this point, it's just gonna be like she'll turn up at this point.
Well, right now I need Grimshaw and Troxel to talk in character because Troxel clearly doesn't want to stay in this infested village, and Grimshaw's just like, let's just find a bed, and move on in the morning.
Okay, I'm good. Let's find the bed. I'll knock. Can we use some beds in your house and get some food for?
Oh my god, yes, let Troxel knock. Let Troxel knock.
Oh yeah, no. He knocks. They open the door. The second they see him, you see the person pale. And it takes them a good 15 seconds after he's done talking for them to realize, I'm not being executed. I can breathe.
I'm sorry. Why are villagers being executed?
Troxel, this would be the equivalent of, hey, the President of America has stopped by your doorstep. It's either a very good thing or a very bad.
They've never seen me.
They see your heraldry. Again, your heraldry signifies the. What do you mean that's it? That means you're of the upper house in the noble family. Again, that's like the equivalent of being visited by the president. It's either a very, very good thing or a very, very bad thing.
Okay.
Especially in a place where the nobility is kind of like iffy.
Okay.
So.
My friends and I need some food and shelter for the night. Can I give you a gold piece, Mike?
That won't be necessary, my lord. Please, let us take a moment to get ready.
Okay. So we'll do this for the night, and then we move on in the morning. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfectly fine.
And they are scrambling to clean up the entire place.
To make it so you don't sleep in a licensed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, could have actually gone worse. Could have had the door slammed in your face. You know, I was actually kind of like betting on the door slamming. Would have been funny.
At any rate, you guys, as soon as they can, they have all the sheets, everything cleaned up. They get as much spare hay and feathers and comfortable things that they can make makeshift beds for the rest of the group. You know, they give you their beds. They give you the makeshift beds. They do everything they can to give you a nice, comfortable night. You sleep there. You wake up in the morning. Going outside, you start looking around the village for Dottie, and you see her in a ditch.
Once again, Dottie has ridden herself into a ditch.
Laying up against my horse because we're pretty used to traveling and not really asking for anything. Sleeping, roughing it.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, Dottie, can you roll me a percentage check? So D100.
You got robbed again.
70.
Is it 70?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so despite sleeping in your armor and out in the middle of the night, you actually slept decently.
I'm used to this.
Yeah, they still had to have you check.
I was gonna say, sleeping in armor is actually really not as uncomfortable as everyone makes it out to be.
I gotta cuddle with the pony.
So as we get up to Dottie, I'm gonna look at her and go, "What have I told you about riding drunk?"
I really drink.
How's that from me? You want to translate that into English?
I really drink.
Dottie, we can't really hear you, like, at all. You're so muffled.
Huh.
Much better.
How about now?
That's way better.
Good.
I rarely drink.
That's unfortunate. You should drink more.
You hear Lyrian runs over to you guys, and like she looks excited. She's like, "Guys, look! Come over here!"
Ooh. What is it?
She leads you to the edge of the village, off like on the bridge, and she points out to essentially the you see in the distance, off in the horizon, a lake with a floating island in the sky and a large tower in the center of it, with a waterfall pouring into the lake.
Okay, and Lyrian, do you know how to get into the tower?
She gives a hesitant nod. She's like, "I believe I remember. Yes."
Okay, let's go then.
Does it involve anything magical?
She looks at you and just goes, "Yeah. How else do you get onto a floating island in the sky?"
Catapult?
And we're gonna end the session there.
Oh.
We're just gonna end the session with the phrase catapult. Fantastic.
Because like we would have to stop in about 5 minutes anyways, because we're getting close to the end of the session.
So
Yeah.
when we'll start at the lake 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. Before you guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves while I calculate all your XP real quick.
Sure. I think that what happened with those two women, I think that's gonna come back for us sometime. Or I could have just let in some kind of I could have let some fugitives, dangerous fugitives escape. But I don't know.
Or the wolf mercenaries could have killed them
Yep.
an hour after we left them.
My guess would be that they were probably part of the Knights of Reckoning.
Why?
They didn't want to be seen by the local nobility. They didn't want to be seen by the local guards. And there's only two reasons you wouldn't want to be seen by the local guards. A, you're a thief of some type, and you want to hide the fact that, hey, I have actively stolen from these people. Or B, you are actively working against the nobility, which would be
But
Knights
how would
of
they
Reckoning.
know? How would anybody know?
You have to play it safe. If you have a wanted poster out, which they could have, we didn't know about them. They could have been wanted. They could have been a high-ranking officer in the Knights of Reckoning that actually has a face. Which would mean that there would be a cause for them to want to hide their faces, or go across without having to deal with the nobility. So why my guess is the Knights of Reckoning is because they didn't seem like the kind of people who would actively be thieves. The one was scared shitless of me, so yeah, it was probably just someone who looked at me and goes, "Oh my god, big stonking muscles with a giant hammer to boot." And went, "Oh good lord."
Oh, we lost
But at
Dottie.
this-
Yeah, I noticed that too. I just finished getting the XP and Dottie's gone again.
Dottie, no.
Dottie, back over here. Okay, so XP. Grimshaw, you have received 165 XP.
I have done nothing this game.
Troxel, you received 175 XP.
Okay.
Bernard, you received 185 XP.
Yes.
And Dottie received 90 XP.
We have done like nothing this session. There wasn't even that much exposition.
But there was a lot of intriguing things you started to uncover. Which, it may not make sense now, but it could make sense later on.
Digging.
So make notes. Keep track of everything. Because it might be important. So yeah, this session was basically just a whole bunch of random encounters as you encounter different characters, getting some news. I will say, everyone's faces when I told you guys that there was a mummy in that crypt was priceless.
Well, yeah, because out of character, we all know mummy rot is a hell of a drug.
Well, we have a paladin who's immune.
Yeah, she's immune, but
Who said she's immune?
Oh, yeah. Well, I thought paladins were immune to disease.
Okay, number one, that's normal disease. Number two, I made it resistance, not immunity.
Okay.
And number three, a mummy rot is something of a magical nature, so that's even more powerful than a normal disease.
Okay.
Okay, good night, all. See you 2
Night,
weeks from
Troxel.
now, which will be...
That'll be on the 29th.
Which is great, because I get my new tires on the 22nd.
Nice.
Good. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
I'm no longer riding on bald tires.
Yeah, what did you think, by the way, that about how Dottie not only encountered a troll, but nearly got eaten by it because she didn't... She didn't realize it was a threat and tried to greet it.
Honestly, that's par for course with Dottie.
The way she was talking about the undead was like, it's a little different for like the a paladin, because I'm thinking paladin should be like their mortal enemies, kind of. Undead should be their mortal enemy.
Yeah, undead's their mortal enemies, but if I had it be where paladins are basically automatically the bane of every undead's existence, then there wouldn't really be much of a game.
Yeah.
So, they are the bane of undead, but their power is based on their level. The stronger Dottie gets, the more effective she'll be against undead.
Okay.
Like, as of right now, she does not have the ability to affect a mummy.
Okay.
Like with turn undead. She can't turn it at all. Even with Ghast, she only has a 19 in 20 chance. So she has a 1 in 20 chance, a 2 in 20 chance of turning a Ghast. So.
But the
Bernard, you're not moving at all, like on my screen.
Yeah, my camera's gone. I don't know what's going on. I'm glad you can still hear me, but yeah, I'm completely black.
Man, Dottie vanishing and not being able to come back. You guys all vanishing at random points. This has just been a really weird session.
Yeah. Maybe it's a storm.
Maybe. That could be it. Either way.
But like you were saying about her not knowing the threat, I knew it's a large man. I said, that was a giant. I thought it was a giant or something like that, but it was a troll. How she got lucky that a whole bunch of other people came out there.
She would have been dead if the Drakon did not come to her aid. Which I was interested that she didn't really specify exactly what the Drakon were asking her help for, because they were a bit more detailed. They were basically telling her. I'll let her tell you in her own time. I'll probably remind her what they told her in case she forgot, in case she wants to say it next time. But
yeah. Should be fun next time.
Yeah.
If everything works out. Keeping that tax. We're gonna have to keep the fact.
What you say?
We're just gonna have to keep the fact that one guy is now not existent. That one tax collector.
Yeah, we that's just gonna have to be our little secret. It's about we met a tax collector.
oh, I meant to have him say it as a rumor. I'll say it now, and then I'll say it again for the next stream. One of the rumors he was supposed to tell you was that he heard that the KOR assaulted and destroyed a tax collector on his way to Selsmeyer.
Oh.
Like, they found their arrows all over the place, like it was an assault. And that they burned the carriage afterwards.
That's weird.
How do you find KOR arrows? Like, what? How do you discern whose arrows are what? I'm gonna have to go for a little bit. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Well, this is probably a good time to end the session then. Low potch, everyone. Thank you for watching the session. You have a wonderful time.
Okay. Bye.
Quick and unseen like the dragon's offspring, for we owe no debts and bow to no king. Every war has its cost and we've paid, one by the bond of the body we've made. War with the call that the battle starts now. As the demons listen, we strike them down, fighting back the rifts of blood. Sent from the sky like some angel in need, give them news to strengthen and words to heed. Heaven's doors are set alight, we're knocking on the gates of hell tonight.